Hi everyone, I hope you are doing fine. Today we will study the first travel in Swift's novel, Gulliver's Travels. As you know, we have four travels in the novel, to Lilliput, to Brobdingnag, to Laporta, and to Hanuman Santiago. And as I told you, we will study each travel separately. So, our lecture today is about Gulliver's first travel to Lilliput. Let us see what is happening there. So our first travel is to Lilliput. Actually, Gulliver's adventure in Lilliput begins when he wakes after his shipwreck to find himself bound by innumerable tiny threads and addressed by tiny captors, who are in awe of him but fiercely protective of their kingdom. They are not afraid to use violence against him, but overall they are hospitable, risking famine in their land by feeding Gulliver, who consumes more food than 1,000 Lilliputians combined could. After that, Gulliver is taken into the capital city by a vast wagon the Lilliputians have specially built. He is presented to the emperor, who is entertained by Gulliver, just as Gulliver is flattered by the attention of royalty. Eventually, Gulliver becomes a national resource that is used by the army in their war against the people of Blefuscu, which is an island nation located in the South Indian Ocean, whom the Lilliputians hate for doctrinal differences concerning the proper way to crack eggs. But things change when Gulliver is convicted of treason for putting out a fire in the royal palace with his urine, and is condemned to be shot in the eyes and starved to death. Then Gulliver escapes to Blefuscu, where he is able to repair a boat he finds and set sail for England. Now let us analyze the first voyage and examine the irony and satire in it. Actually, many descriptions in the first voyage employ the technique of verbal irony, which occurs when a speaker's intention is the opposite of what he or she is saying. For instance, in chapter 3, Swift ridicules the Lilliputians' ignorance by describing how mathematicians in Lilliput measure Gulliver's height by the help of a quadrant. Also, in chapter 5, despite the fact that the conflict between Lilliput and Blefuscu is ridiculous, Gulliver depicts it with total seriousness. The tone with which Gulliver tells the story is serious. However, the more serious he is, the more ridiculous and laughable the conflict is. This again is the employment of verbal irony. Actually, Swift expects us to understand that the history Gulliver relates parallels European history. The high heels and the low heels correspond to the Whigs and Tories of English politics. Lilliput and Blefuscu represent England and France. The conflict between Big Indians and Little Indians represents the Protestant Reformation and the centuries of world war between Catholics and Protestants. Through these representations, the author implies that the differences between Protestants and Catholics, between Whigs and Tories, between France and England, are as silly and meaningless as how a person chooses to crack an egg. Moreover, the egg controversy is ridiculous because there cannot be any right or wrong way to crack an egg. Therefore, it is unreasonable to legislate how people must do it. Similarly, we may conclude that there is no right or wrong way to worship God. At least, there is no way to prove that one way is right and another way is wrong. In other words, Swift wants to criticize politics in England by saying that being a Whig or a Tory is not important. The most important thing is England. That is why people in England shouldn't mix politics and religion. In this way, Swift emphasizes the separation of church and state, that is, the separation of religion from political power, and protects the religious institutions from state interference. The concept of a separation of church and state reinforces the legal right of a free people to freely live their faith, even in public without fear. The difference in size between Gulliver and the Lilliputians reflects the importance of physical power, a theme that occurs throughout the novel. Gulliver begins to gain the trust of Lilliputians over time, but it is unnecessary because Gulliver could crush them simply by walking carelessly. Despite the evidence in front of them, they never recognize their own insignificance. They are men 6 inches in height, but possessing all the pretension and self-importance of full-sized men. The physical size of them is the measure of their intellectual and moral size. Thus, Swift symbolically shows the smallness of men. This is clearly the use of a dramatic irony, in which the reader knows the truth, but the characters and the stories deny it. They keep Gulliver tied up, thinking that he is under control, while in fact he could destroy them effortlessly. In this way, Swift satirizes humanity's pretensions to power and significance. That's why the Lilliputians symbolize humankind's widely excessive pride in its out-puny existence. Thank you. Please watch the video more than one time and especially focus on the irony in the first problem. Thank you and have a good day.